Could this be described as the kind of fragrance that's an already classical profile that happens to have been done remarkably well? How's it going? My name is Mark and this is You Do You. Thanks for tuning in. I've divided this video into two chapters. The first chapter is about first impressions, and the second chapter features my final thoughts after 4 times of wearing this fragrance. If you'd rather skip to the final thoughts, please just go to the description and click on the timestamp. And if you find this video helpful, please consider subscribing and give it a like. On we go, chapter 1. I better do this now before I run out of the excitement. This is the Eau de Parfum version of the limited edition Carolina Herrera Insignia for men. I have high expectations. Over in Joy Amin's channel, when he did the ranking of all his Carolina Herrera fragrances, this one came up at number 2. Since it's a limited edition, I'd imagine that it's probably better than their usual offerings, and the bottle is really rather gorgeous. The notes. Oh, promising. Unsprayed, thank goodness. Wait, I have to present proof that this is the EDP. So it turns out that the EDP bottle doesn't have the red stitching at the back. And if it does have the red stitching, then it's very probably the Eau de Toilette. This is far smoother than the inexpensive rose ouds that one could get. Is there anything about it that's remarkably unique? I don't think so. No. The oud accord in this fragrance is very similar to the oud that you would get from YSL M7 Oud Absolute. It's that same kind of like woody non-oud. So it doesn't smell like oud. No, it smells like oud, but you know that it's not oud. Even though I knew that it wasn't going to be all that unique, I picked it up because there's rose and iris at the heart. And I love the rose iris oh, is it violet? Violet, sorry. The rose-violet combination is something that I really like. I knew that I wasn't gonna dislike it. And in fact, like right now, after 2 minutes, I'm liking it more. I'm really tempted to spray some more, but it just might be one of those fragrances that eventually, like give it 15 minutes, it might be much stronger after 15 minutes. And I wanna be careful because I don't wanna feel inundated by the fragrance. But it's good enough that I'm tempted to overspray. Good points, first impressions, everything's really balanced, nothing offensive, quite attractive, nothing shocking, nothing new. There are 2 noses behind CH Insignia for men. One is, I've never heard of him before, Pierre Constantin Guerro or Guerros, I'm not too sure. The other one is Emilie Bevier Copperman. Most of the time when Emilie Bevier Copperman is behind a fragrance, they have the right kind of projection in that they're not monstrous. Fragrances by Emilie Bevier Copperman are always just kind of like contained. I mean, they do. There is, wow, oh my god, I'm getting a whiff of something of leather. Holy wow. I gotta spray 2 more. That was good. That leather, that whiff of leather was really good. I was saying, when Emilie Bevier Copperman is behind the fragrance, the projection is really just right. You get good sillage and longevity. I've never had any complaints. But anyway, the point is that they never get loud. And it's just right. It's always just right. I'm gonna go back to this video after maybe 30 minutes. So I've worn CH Men Insignia Eau de Parfum 4 times. Maybe the most important thing I should say is that after 2 wears of CH Men Insignia, I did consider reselling it. Why? Because it just wasn't that unique. Maybe I'm just in a headspace where I'm looking for things which are unique or scent profiles that are difficult to come by. But all in all, everything in CH Men Insignia is so very well balanced, and that's a good thing, of course. The thing is that it's so well blended that all the notes here end up becoming an abstraction of something which is floral. And as such, it wasn't exactly all that memorable. If so, then why didn't I try to resell this thing? Because at the thought of smelling this fragrance again from somebody else, I just knew that I would end up becoming sort of jealous. Like I would end up wanting it back. All in all, I think that the pros of CH Men Insignia far outweigh the cons. The cons aren't even really all that significant. Mainly, it's that for a 2018 release, the treatment of the flowers in CH Men Insignia recalls some of the scents which came out in the 2010s. That kind of smooth abstraction of the floral, that's something that I have lots of already, and so in some ways, it felt kind of dispensable. The pros, however, are much more numerous. This is really, really elegant. It may not be arresting, it may not be challenging, but the elegance of it, the well-blendedness of it, makes me think that, you know, at least once a month, I'm gonna want to smell it. In fact, I haven't sprayed this in maybe a week and a half, and when I sprayed it again, to do the final thoughts part of this video, I suddenly was reminded of how really good it is. If you have a large collection, if you don't mind having lots of bottles, if you intend to wear this fragrance maybe just twice a year or so, then I think it would be a welcome addition to your collection, because for some strange reason, the scent, even though it's very lovely when you're smelling it, it's in fact difficult to remember in very exact terms, so that when you spray it again, it would end up being like a beautiful surprise all over, as though it were the first time. Obviously, the fact that it's not that memorable, that it's difficult to memorize the profile of it, might be a con for some people. Is this fragrance unisex? To my nose, it very much is. For the most part, the experience really is this wonderful combination of rose and violet. The rose and violet are of such equal strength that what you end up getting is an abstraction of the floral. Neither rose nor violet, but really a combination of the two. The amount of Cistus labdanum in CH Men Insignia is also really well judged. It was apparently the leathery aspects of Cistus labdanum that I was smelling when I thought I was smelling leather when I first sprayed it. This might be helpful. Is this as good as, say, Prada Luna Rosa or Prada L'Homme Intense? I'd say in terms of quality, yes, it's as good as that. Is it as good as, say, something by Amouage or Chanel? This is a far more satisfying wear than Pour Monsieur current formulation. So if you're trying to say, not that they're anything similar, but this is just to give you an idea of where it might stand in your collection. Antaeus is so much better, definitely better. Dior Homme Parfum is so much better, whereas to me, it's just as good as Dior Homme Intense. So it's just at that level of Prada L'Homme Intense, of Dior Homme Intense. It's still very designery. It's certainly not niche. And I should say that, you know, for something with oud and woods and a bit of rose, then it's far, far, far superior to the rose oud things that are released by Montal, which could be harsh. Nothing is harsh about CH Men Insignia, and it's very easy on the nose, it's office friendly, it's inoffensive. The projection is just right, it's never loud. Like I said in the first impressions, if this is going to be your everyday scent, I imagine that you probably might tire of it after 2 weeks. So it doesn't sustain interest over long periods of time. So if you're just going to wear this once every 2 years, then hey, pretty good addition to the collection. At the end of the day, it's still really designery. But don't get me wrong, it's a good one. So my final words are gonna sound like an oxymoron. CH Insignia Men is both beautiful and, strangely, unexpectedly, not exactly remarkable.